Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you guys had an awesome day today. Figma IPO was today, and I gotta say, I traded it perfectly today, but there's more to talk about today than just that. So, we're gonna go through everything. I started the day out on a really frustrating note. Thankfully, traded Fig really well. I needed that for the rest of the week because there's some tweaks that I've got to make. Now, I've been sort of struggling with this the last few weeks, and well, it's time to do some deep dives. And I reviewed last week. I thought I found the solution. Well, I didn't find the issue first to really put in place the proper solution. So we're going to go through everything about how I traded the Figma IPO, everything else this morning as well. But obviously going to place a lot more focus on the Figma IPO because that was the big one today. Today was an interesting day for the sole fact of it was a roller coaster. I came in this morning and didn't see a whole lot that I liked. Pre-market was pretty dead. And so I already started off on sort of a bad foot there. And what I've noticed lately, and SNGX is a great example, where I am nice and green on SNGX today, but it should have been so much more. And the issue was, again, too much emphasis, and I think I'm getting scared out of my positions, frankly. I'm focusing too much on the small time frames. And you'll see here as we look at price action how this thing trades today, and it just chops me. I traded it well. Like I said, I still made some money on it, but I could have traded it so much better than I did. Of course, there's always room for improvement, but this is one of those things that we got to look back at because this is game changing. So this thing starts going out of the bell today. Everything else moving has a massive spread. You have PAPL moving, ONCO, PBM, all have massive 10-cent spreads. It was disgusting. So gross there, but I saw SNGX, and this thing had a ton of volume, nice tight spread. I really enjoyed this thing today, and I was able to take a few good trades on it where you had the break at the high of day here out of the bell. This thing reverses over its opening range high. I take the 1 minute breakout. I get a little move here up into the highs and take a little bit of profit. Then price pulls back off of the 90 MA, and again, I take the little curl here back up into the highs. And again, I'm playing it pretty well through here. I take it here from 213 to about 220, and again, I'm pretty happy with that. But where I'm leaving money on the table are these really big picture opportunities all through here where you can see how risk averse I am. I'm trying to avoid any bit of drawdown in price. And the reason why is, again, I'm sticking too much to the 1 minute time frame. I see a bit of hesitation, and rather than just trading the big picture setup, I'm just out. So I'm not giving stuff enough time to go. And again, you can see the same story here where I have this nice pullback entry off the previous low, and I played up into the high, up into this area of supply. And again, I leave so much money on the table here. It's not even funny. So I have nice trades on this today. Like I said, I feel as if I played it pretty well, but I could have traded it so much better. And I'm going to walk through exactly what that solution is in this video here as well. So pretty much same story with PBM. Take a look at this. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. I traded this thing perfectly this morning. It was outstanding. I came in this morning. I took two beautiful breakout wins on this thing and gave back everything this afternoon, which is just crazy. But two beautiful moves this morning on this thing, and then I came back and got chopped around. So again, I played it on the breakout here. We can see strength out of the bell. This thing gets going. I played off the higher lows for the break up through VWAP. We get the break at the highs. I add for the move up higher into the 9s. I get the move to 9. I try to add for the break up through 10. Of course, don't get it, but all through here, beautiful profit. And then I come back here and looking at the 1 minute trend break, take a look at this. So 1 minute break of trend, and I take it here on the reclaim, pullbacks off moving averages, and I take a little loss on it, right? Not significant, but it's enough to chop you up and give back profits that, again, shouldn't have really happened. So this is a case of one where I'm just not really happy with it. SNGX I'm really happy with. I at least traded it well. At least I'm profitable on it today. And FIG, of course, nice and green on that today. But I want to show you the issue here. So looking at this layout here that I've got on Webull, these are the charts that I typically am looking at during the trading day. I prefer the charts much more than Trade Ideas charts. So these are the ones that I use to analyze. And the issue that I've been having, let me show you. And it's going to really make a whole lot of sense once I explain this. So this right here, I'll use FIG as the example. This right here is my typical layout when trading. I've got the 1 minute, typically the 3 minute, the daily, and the 15 minute. Now, the issue is I'll be watching all of these time frames here, looking at the 1, the 3, the 15, the daily. And if something looks good on the 1, I'll take it. If something looks good on the 3, I'll take it. And so you get these misaligning signals where something will look good on the 3, something will look good on the 1, it might not look good on. And so you take these smaller picture setups, which is what happened today with me on SNGX, where there was some really big picture entries that I missed out on because I was too focused on the 1 minute time frame. And it's just, and then I can look at it on the 5 minute and I say, no, that doesn't look good. Then I look at the 1 minute, it doesn't look good. Then I take it anyways. So the big thing for me, and again, you have to do what your personality is. Again, you've got to really zone in on your personality strengths. And for me, very anxious person, I feel like. I don't do too well with the really wiki action. So here's the setup that I need to be using. And what I used to use for so many years, and of course I switched it up because I said, oh, I need more data. More data is not always better. So the big thing here is, let's just say that I'm watching these 3 stocks here, all of which are on a 3-minute time frame. So that means I almost have this filter where it's like this quality filter where I'm only looking for setups on the 3-minute rather than having a 1-minute here, a 3-minute here, a 15-minute here. This way I only look at a setup, because here's the thing, on my other monitor here, I've got 2 charts. You can't see it over here, but this is my other monitor on the left with trade ideas, which also has 2 charts on it. I've got my 1-minute and my daily. So whenever I first pull up a stock, if I say, oh, FIG looks good, then I'll pull it up over on my other screen as well. Then I have the 3-minute, 1-minute, and the daily. So once it looks good on the 3-minute, at that point, then I'm watching it on the 1 and daily. So I've got that sort of multi-time frame confluence. But that's the big difference here. That's the big kicker. Where right now I see it look good on the 1 and I'm playing it anyways. Or I see it look good on the 3, not on the 1. So it's got to have that top-down confluence. But it all has to start with the 3-minute time frame for me. No ifs, no ands, no buts. That is my strategy. And I left it a while ago thinking that more data meant better. More data meant more money. More data did not mean more money. More data in the frame of different time frames does not mean more money. So again, less is more when it comes to the charts that you're watching for sure. And this way I can keep an eye on all the stocks that are moving as well. I've got my other monitor on this side. I've got my 3 screens, my ultra wide, and then my 2 9x16s. And I typically have 9 charts on this one, 4 charts on this one, 2 charts on this one. So I'm looking at pretty much everything. I've got my eyes in all places. But again, that's not always better. It's not always better. So this way, I have that quality filter in place. I'm only looking at these stocks, looking on the 3 first. But let's go ahead and get past this. That's what I'm sort of excited to work on for the rest of the week tomorrow. But looking over at FIG IPO. Now, FIG went live today right around, was it 2 o'clock? 2 o'clock this afternoon. And we traded it live with the team today. And this thing was amazing. It was really fruitful. I was expecting it to have some good opportunity. I have done pretty well with IPOs in the past. I would like to think I'm fairly experienced with trading IPOs. So I sort of knew how to look at this going into the listing today. So I have quite a few trades on this. Well, I say quite a few. I have about 4 or 5. And it was actually pretty easy to trade. So he came in, and of course, you have this initial wave of hype on this thing, the initial momentum where, this thing first pops from 84 all the way to 110 bucks a share. Of course, not playing it through here. We want to wait for a nice pullback to put in place a bit of a base. And so what happens here is we know for now we have this $100 level sitting off of VWAP. So we have 100 sitting here off of VWAP. Of course, that 100 level acts as a level of psychological. And of course, that 100 level acts as a level of psychological support. So we knew that we had some form of defined risk here off 100. So again, really good setups here. We first took the entry off the pullback after price grabbed liquidity underneath VWAP. Take a look at this. Price grabs liquidity underneath VWAP to retest this previous low. Gets bought back up aggressively. So I say, look, this thing looks good. I take it after buyer step back in, risking off of the low of this candle at 95 bucks. And then I get a move here. You can see I even got an add on the breakout here. I get a move from 100 all the way to 116. Then I came back with some really small lotto size, trying to get that break up higher. No dice, but in any case, lotto size through there, not to give back that profit. But this here was amazing. And I will say, if you weren't trading it properly, it was very easy to get shopped around on today. You go in with FOMO and this predetermined plan saying, oh, I got to play this today. And then you go and chase it up over 100, and then you get snapped back down underneath 95, and now you're freaking out. You're down 15, 20%. You're like, oh my God, what do I do? So captured a nice 16% move there on the listing. Then I came back this afternoon, had a couple trades on it as well. But that's how I traded it this morning. Of course, or this afternoon. Went fairly well. Pretty happy with it. Little high of day breakout here from 118 to 121. You can see here the previous high was sitting literally right here. So that was nice, and then had a little scalp in after hours, but nothing to write home about there. So this was nice. But the big thing with the IPOs, again, you just have to wait for the crowd to sort of panic first. You got to sort of think outside the box a little bit, like I said on my videos that I posted up the other day, saying think outside the box. Wait for the pullbacks. Wait for defined risks to form. And after we form this defined level of risk with liquidity here underneath VWAP, beautiful spot to risk off 95. The stop loss was literally right here at 95 off that grab of liquidity, and just nailed it up into the highs for a beautiful play. So that was my day today. Not too shabby. I'm pretty happy with FIG. FIG was nice. I'm looking forward to trading it again tomorrow. Hopefully better opportunities there as well. Overall today, pretty happy with it. Pretty freaking happy with it. But again, a lot of improvements to be had over on really the focus side. A lot of these big picture trades like SNGX today that I should have really been able to nail and really be aggressive on them. I wasn't able to because of my 1 minute focus. So Again, I just got to work on having those horse blinders on. I got to work on having those horse blinders on per se. That way I'm not looking over at the 5, not looking over at the 15. I'm just zoned in on the 3-minute time frame. No 1 minute, no 15-minute noise. Just focused in on what works for me. So that's going to be the big thing here going into the rest of the week and Friday and then going into next week to start the new month. I'm super happy. I'm excited. I'm ready to get things rolling. Overall, it was a nice month, but like I said, always room to improve. It's been kind of a tricky week, all in all, with the FOMC yesterday and everything else. So I can't beat myself up too much, but I hold myself to extremely high standards. So whenever I see areas to improve, well, they've got to improve quick. Otherwise, I start to beat myself up. So looking forward to tomorrow. Hopefully, have a nice green day again. And just in the weekend, an amazing note. Again, changing things up again. I've got some stuff to work on here, but we always do as traders. There's always room to improve. So we just got to keep on keeping on. That being said, though, Figma IPO was amazing today. Let me know in the comments if you traded Figma today. It was pretty fun. I think we're going to have some really good trades on it tomorrow as well. So make sure to subscribe for daily content just like this. And of course, make sure to claim your 7-day free trial to watch me trade these stocks in real time and get alerts, education, watch list, chat room access, and so much more. And that being said, I will see y'all there.